Hello there, darlings. Welcome to the Clockwork Cabaret. They are old. They are not hip. They are the weird answers that you didn't know you needed or wanted. And now, for a friendly reminder, this show is for adults. That darling DJ duo, Emmett Davenport and Lady Attercop, drink cocktails, have potty mouths, and at least one of them was raised by wolves.
And with the sound of the cuckoo, you know that it is time for the Clockwork Cabaret.
Hooray!
I am Emmett Davenport.
And I am Lady Attercop.
And I almost choked right there. I couldn't remember the words.
So it's
right
like
in the entry.
sometimes words are hard, and sometimes breathing is hard as well.
It was a combination thereof of swallowing air in the wrong way and also the fact that I really, really forgot what I was supposed to be saying at the beginning of the show, despite the fact that I have said it the same way.
What is this place? Where are we?
For a million years.
Why are we here?
That is the question.
The deep questions.
That is very
questions.
much the deep question.
That's what we're known for.
True. Also, possibly becoming Our Flag Means Death fan show.
Fan show.
I think that might just be.
Hey,
Maybe
we are
it's
not.
Just me.
We are not the only ones. You know that I listen to a lot of podcasts because I spend a lot of time in the car,
Right?
Driving. I'm doing things in the car. I'm not just sitting in there. Thank you, everyone, for asking.
I'd hope you're driving.
Yes, I'm on the road.
On your way to things.
Going places, doing stuff. But I have two of the shows I listen to are doing Blackbeard episodes right now. So we're not the only ones.
Okay, that's fair.
The whole nation is having a Our Flag Means Death moment.
A love affair.
A love affair with pirates. It's really funny. It's quite amusing to be basically everyone being Mr. Ducky levels of excited about pirates right now.
Oh, yes. Yeah.
Mr. Ducky's a longtime pirate fan.
He is.
I know so much. Remember last week when I was trying to remember the name of the pirate that was a captain, that was a teetotaler. And he knew. I was like, what was the name of that captain? And
what
he
was
said,
his name?
I forget. He told me, and I immediately lost the information.
Oh, all right. I'll have to ask.
I mean, I could Google it, but I'm not gonna.
That's
just
fine.
Gonna ask Ducky again.
That's fine.
Ducky, what was the name of that pirate? And he's like, oh, he was a real psycho. It's so-and-so. Let me tell you 5 more facts about him. So,
right. Everybody's got a thing that they're really, really excited gung-ho about. Sometimes that changes from week to week or month to month or year to year. And then some people are like, nope, this is the only thing that I am fanatical about, and I will take it to my grave.
Ducky knew so much about pirates. We got invited by the pirates at the Renaissance Fair one year. They asked if we wanted to come over after the Renaissance Fair was closed so that we could drink and help them launch stuff with the trebuchet into the lake.
Oh, did you do it?
No, because I had my little sister with me and her friend.
Oh.
So, there were 2 13-year-olds that I was responsible for, so I could not...
So you were being
a good older sister.
Decent.
Yeah.
Decent people.
If it was just my sister, I might be like, Tess, do you want to launch crap into the lake with a trebuchet? But then I had one of her friends with us as well, so I couldn't. But I'm very sad I didn't get to because we were asking them about the trebuchet, and they're like, yeah, after the Ren Fair closes, we all drink and throw things in the lake. And I was like, oh,
I've
never wanted to do this anymore in my life. They're like, you can come over after they close if you'd like. And I was like, oh, I can't.
Meanwhile, I almost gave my little sister to a goth band once.
Just Just to have.
Just to have.
Do you have any roadies? I've got.
Oh no,
I've got a kid running around here.
They were very. Apparently, they were just very taken with her, and kept trying to get her to get into their van and go on tour with them, and she kept going, "No, I don't want to hang out with gross goth boys," because that was, you know.
I mean, she wasn't wrong.
She wasn't wrong, but it was very, very funny, and I'm going, well, how much you got? I mean,
are you willing to pay?
But you know, she is very difficult. Very difficult.
But she's small. She doesn't eat much.
Yes.
Stow her in the back.
Yeah, just throw her back there, and yeah. So.
No one has ever offered me money for my siblings.
Yeah.
I did think I was getting kidnapped once, and because you know how you do when you're a kid. Something had happened when we lived with my grandmother. Something had happened, and she couldn't come pick us up, so she sent a friend that she thought we would recognize. We did not.
Oh, yeah, that's always, like, no.
But then my brother got into her car, my younger brother, and I was like, well, I guess I'm getting kidnapped today, because I can't let him get in there by himself, because I'm the older sister, so I gotta get kidnapped along with him.
Yeah, I almost got kidnapped multiple times as a child, because being a small child in like the 70s and 80s, a lot of your clothes had your name on it. And so I remember having like a baseball shirt that had Emmett written across the back of it, you know, printy puffy letters on the back, and so you know people would just periodically be yelling, "Hey Emmett, hey, come here," and I'd be like, "Oh, hey, do I know you? I don't know.
I must."
And apparently I was a very trusting child, and I just would go over and be like, "Hi."
Apparently I was not.
Clearly, you know.
Some random old lady tries to pick me up. I'm not getting in her car. Excuse me, ma'am, but I know all about stranger danger.
Yeah.
I don't care that you're my grandma's friend.
I also knew
you're
about,
my grandmother's friend.
I also knew about stranger danger, but sometimes I would bring strangers home because they were down on their luck and gave me a sob story, and I felt bad, and I wanted to help them.
Them home.
And I would bring them home, and then I would get a very strict, strong talking to.
I mean, to be fair.
About the fact that, like, we understand that we've taught you to be kind to others and to do the right thing, but bringing people home is not what we meant.
It's not the right thing.
Oh, but she was nice, and she was down on her luck, and she had a very sad story, and I thought we could help her get home. And I didn't realize. That's how the murders begin.
That's how your episode of Forensic Files starts.
Yeah. It wasn't until at least my teenage years that I became more jaded and sour and became the mopey bloomers that you see before you, whereas
the world destroyed your soul.
Yeah, it was when I was young and innocent and sweet and trusting and naive.
You fool.
And gullible. And all the other stupid words.
My brother and I almost got kidnapped once. My dad chased the dude and followed the guy in his car until he lost him. Yes, he stopped in front of our house, and we were playing in a pile of wood. You know how you do as a child. They had cut some trees back, and so there was like these big piles of branches, and we're like, hell yeah, let's get in there. So we did. And this guy parked his car right in front of us and asked us if Ed McMahon lived there. Why he pulled Ed McMahon out of his ass, I don't know. But we were like, no. He's like, well, does Ed McMahon live anywhere around here? We're like, no. So we knew who Ed McMahon was. And then my dad saw him talking to us, and because he had rolled down the window and started to open the car door.
Oh.
And my dad just happened to look out the window at that moment, saw him do that, and came out to the front porch, and the guy slammed the door shut and drove away.
Whoa.
And then my dad hopped in the car after him and followed him for a while. Because he kept stopping and talking to other children.
Oh.
Yeah. So my dad thwarted at least 3 potential kidnappings that day. Well, he was mad too. I think he probably would have beaten him up if he had managed to catch him. But the guy noticed he was being followed and hopped onto a highway and got away from him. But
No, that's, yeah.
I think he called the cops and told the cops, and they were like, okay.
Oh, nice.
That one. Florida.
Oh, fun. Yay.
Well, did he actually kidnap any of the kids? I don't know what you expect us to do about it. It was the 80s,
I know.
They were like,
there's just kids everywhere. Please
look,
take some.
I mean, have you seen how many kids there are out there? Like, please, take some of them. We keep finding them dead on the highway.
Oh.
On the side of the highway.
You don't see the correlation, maybe? For the kidnapping?
That was not the same time that the police kept insisting that all of the bodies that were showing up on the side of I-95 in suitcases were not the work of a serial killer.
Oh.
That was a different time. That was in the 90s.
It was just...
Yeah. Unrelated
just
corpses.
Common. It's just a common occurrence.
Unrelated corpses of young women in suitcases near the side of the road.
Oh.
Like, I just remember that. Like,
just random. Yeah. It's just totally random.
I remember that press conference as a kid, like catching it as you're walking through and then going, we reassure the population that this is not the work of a serial killer. And it's like, which is less upsetting?
I don't. That there's a whole lot of people just doing
that. There's multiple people killing young women and dropping them off in suitcases on the side of the road, or that there's just one person doing it. Which is less upsetting? Because they both seem pretty bad.
Yeah, there's not a. It's not a glass half full scenario. I feel like.
No.
Yeah. No, that's not. Yeah.
This is why when I met a defense attorney one time who took on public cases, it was like, oh man, that sounds like a hard job. And she was like, my job is great. I get paid to yell at cops all day. And I was like, all right.
And on that note, we're going to play some music.
There was a bee, a pretty little bee. I see why you might choose it. I'd rather have a madman wasp, 'cause he plays all the music.
Choose the madman wasp. He plays all the music.
And Mr. Ducky is in the studio.
That's right.
And tormenting poor Lady Attercop with visions of terrible old television episodes.
Of very special episodes of Webster. Google it, children. You'll be like, why was this a show that needed to exist? And you know what? I don't know.
Still don't know.
About the time Webster almost murdered his adopted family by setting them on fire. Not on purpose. It was an accident. That's why it was a very special episode.
Oh. To teach kids about fire safety.
Yes.
That's because I'm assuming that somebody on the crew or the actors had to do some community service.
That was a thing, wasn't it? That they had to, children's television had to have so much.
Yes, but it was often also related to somebody getting in trouble.
Yeah, that's true. That's also true. That could be it as well. Yeah, Webster himself.
Possibly, who knows?
He needed parole. But yeah, there was also the very special episode of Punky Brewster where her friend climbs into a refrigerator and gets trapped and almost dies.
Oh.
Because that was the very special episode, was teaching you kids, don't go into old refrigerators because you used to not be able to open them from the inside. You can now, but you could.
Can you?
Yeah.
Okay.
They actually redesigned. This is a true fact. They had to redesign refrigerators because kids would climb into them. People would climb in, like little kids usually, and close the door behind them and die.
Wait, so what you're saying is the only scene that I have ever seen in Indiana Jones and the Crystal Skull is not accurate because Indiana Jones pops open that refrigerator.
No, that would
and
be a 1950s refrigerator.
1950s, that movie would have been over already.
It was true that you can survive a nuclear blast
in that refrigerator.
In a refrigerator.
But he would have been dead from suffocation.
But he would have died from suffocation.
Yeah, see. Oh.
That's where that movie would have ended.
Yeah, that's the only scene that I know from that movie. I wasn't allowed to watch the rest of it because...
it's infuriating and bad.
Rupert knew my love of Indiana Jones. And
as we all did.
And he saw it without me and then said, no, I'm just going to save you from this and just tell you that, no, you should never see it. He did show me that one scene.
That scene.
Because that was the example he used as to why I shouldn't watch it. And I went, fair enough, okay, I'm good. So I've never seen the rest of it.
It's essentially an extended episode of Ancient Aliens, which is a thing I'm not allowed to watch in our household because I get really mad and start yelling at the television. I'm also not allowed to watch Hunting Bigfoot for the same reason.
Oh, well.
Because I just start yelling, how stupid do you think I am? We don't know what Bigfoot eats because it's not real. As much as I want him to be real in my heart, we don't know what Bigfoot's diet is.
So, funnily enough, Rupert's family's new neighbors are apparently really, really big into Bigfoot, and I've decided that I am going to send them those Bigfoot cutouts.
Oh.
And send some of the metal
Yes.
Bigfoot cutouts to them so that they can put it along their fence line.
Our listeners
to torment them.
may have heard, some old-time listeners might remember us mentioning this, but here where we record in North Carolina, there is a small local shop that sells nothing but giant metal sculptures.
Yes, yeah, and they happen to have
they have big feet.
A bunch of the Bigfoot cutout metal cutout things, and I am very, very tempted to buy several of them and send them to Louisiana so that they can torment
T-Rexes, and they have chickens.
Yeah.
Sometimes there is a pig.
There was a unicorn.
There was a unicorn
that
for
I
a
really
hot
wanted.
minute. There's usually some goats.
Yeah.
I know. I'm very obsessed with that store. I want all of the.
I want all of them.
Please give me all of your
I want
most
to put them
tacky
all
giant sculptures.
Yeah, I want to put them all over the cafe grounds.
Oh, that would be very good.
All of them.
Oh, you know what? We could do
What?
setting up, calling our shop beforehand and syncing it. Mr. Ducky, what was the name of the pirate that was a teetotaler and a big old psycho?
Bartholomew Roberts.
Bartholomew Roberts.
Oh, Bartholomew
Captain Roberts.
Yes.
There we go.
That's who it was. Yes, I know the name. I
knew. I will not remember this next week because I will have already forgotten.
Yes. So he was the big old teetotaler, Fruity Loops.
Yes, apparently a vicious pirate, a really teetotaler on the seas, and made everyone pray because he was also evangelical.
Oh.
He's an evangelical pirate, you know.
Maybe if he just
Yeah, a religious zealot.
Maybe if he had just relaxed and had
some
fun.
He could have. Fun was illegal on his ship. No fun. Only Christianity. Why are you going to be a pirate if you're a teetotaler? Also a religious zealot. Why are you a pirate?
Who are you going to proselytize to? Just your crew?
Yeah. You gotta save all those murderer souls.
All those pirates, I guess.
Oh,
that
boy.
seems weird. Oh, well. Yeah.
It's...
There's always one.
There's always one in every group. There's always
true.
one.
I mean, I have to deal with you constantly trying to get me to worship cryptids and start a cult. I mean,
look,
if that's not proselytizing, I don't know what is.
I'm not saying you have to believe in the cult. You could just, I'm just trying to get you to help me form a cult. You don't have to believe it. You can be a hypocrite. That's fine. I don't know. I'm fine with that.
Well, good. I'm glad we've set that boundary there.
Yeah. And I really do want cryptids to be real. Like I want ghosts to be real.
I do
don't
too.
actually believe in them, guys. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no.
I don't. That's why I can't watch Hunting Bigfoot, because I start yelling at the TV. Like, you don't know that. Like, you can't tell me what Bigfoot's diet is because you don't know.
How are you an expert?
Yeah. Like, how?
Have you ever really caught one?
That's Ancient Aliens the same way. I just start yelling at it. Like, these strange ship-shaped jewels, bejeweled brooches from the like, that's a fish! You know what a fucking fish looks like? That's a fish! Don't tell me that's a space. It's not an airplane, it's a fish, how are you that bad at having eyes? And that's why I'm not allowed to watch Ancient Aliens.
It's true.
Or the latest Indiana Jones movie, because it's just an extended Ancient Aliens. With a sexy communist instead of a sexy Nazi.
Don't ruin it for me. No, just kidding. I don't care. I already know. I already know about it.
To be fair, the sexy communist does dress like a sexy Nazi.
Well,
so.
it's a Kate Blanchett, so
Yeah.
it's kind of hard not to be sexy.
Well, I'm not, no judgment on
That's
Kate
it.
Blanchett. We love
With that terrible wig.
Yeah, they put her in a bad wig.
Yes,
You cut
it's a
Kate
bad
Blanchett
wig.
and you put her in that?
Yes, yeah.
In that wig? What are you doing? What are you doing?
It's true. It's true. I don't understand. I know enough.
Harrison.
I know enough by osmosis without actually having to watch it. So,
Harrison, what are
yes.
you doing?
So it's terrible. But yes. And with that,
So we scold Harrison Ford like he's personally responsible.
yes. I like Harrison Ford.
He
It's
does
okay.
not look like he wants to be in that
No,
movie
he
either.
just wanted a boat
He did.
or an airplane.
Get an airplane because he probably crashed the last one.
Yes, yeah, that's true. That's all right. And with that, this has been the Clockwork Cabaret. She is Lady Attercop.
And they are Emmett Davenport.
And it's not work we do, it's love.
This is Mad Wasp Radio, home of the hits.